This is the Frank Wrestling and John Callahan podcast. I'm John Callahan.
Frank Wrestling.
And we're going to get into what happened on Monday night and Tuesday night. Starting Monday night off with Braun Strowman coming out, talking some crap. Very pleased with his own attack against Roman, bragging about it constantly, letting us know what he did for a good 5 minutes almost.
Yeah, Braun comes out. He says he's proud of everything that he did last week, which got a big pop. Kurt Angle comes out and he informs Braun that despite his injuries, can't read my own typing, that Braun will be facing Roman at Payback. Braun says that it will be Roman's funeral, which one can only hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help with Roman having no real support from the universe. Right. He's got a little bit, but most of those are like the little kids and stuff, which, I mean, you've got the John Cenas who appeal a lot to little kids at first because it was the goofiness, but then all the adults were like, whatever, I have kids now too, and he really is a swell guy.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Roman that's different from Cena. I think people got the idea with Cena what was happening, but I think generally Roman is not near as charismatic as Cena, and it's fallen. One, people see what's going on like they did with Cena when he first started, but here's the thing: Cena had the charisma to kind of keep people staved off at times. Roman doesn't have any of that. People want to boo him, and not only that, but they want to boo him faster because they see where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of just blah.
By the way, I don't know if my co-host heard about this, but did you hear the uproar online about Roman was at the house shows like within a few days of whatever happened on Monday.
Really?
Monday. Yeah. What do you think about that?
That's
because there were people
dumb.
shitting their pants, going, "This dude's supposed to have a separated shoulder. How is he on the show?
Fractured ribs."
Right.
I mean, yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, that's kind of like how they had Finn with the whole concussion thing, but yet he wrestled.
Well, I mean,
granted, it was against.
I mean, that's a legit injury, but I'm saying, here's the thing.
I know that's a legit
there's
injury.
There's two ways of looking at it. There's one where, WWE has to have this guy on the show because he's been advertised for the show and he's not actually injured. But what you do when you do that is you sacrifice storytelling in the name of making more money. Where in the past, I think it was more tradition where if a guy got a kayfabe injury, he would stay off the TV selling the injury.
Well, that was my point. They put Finn in a match. Dude got a concussion.
Well, here's the thing. If it was a severe concussion, he wouldn't be in the ring. And if you notice, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but if you notice, Kurt Hawkins never hit him once in that match.
Well, yeah, but you're still doing drop kicks.
You're still doing drop kicks, but you're not selling a punch to the face.
I mean, I guess, but I thought they had a whole big thing about the whole concussion stuff.
Yeah, but you know how they do. They make shit up as they go along.
And that's just crazy. I mean, if you're going to have some standards or rules, you should apply all the time. I mean, stay to a path.
They can't do that. Why does Adam Rose get shit canned for a domestic violence issue, but Randy Orton has had like 16 strikes of the fucking wellness policy? And then they put did you hear about the clause they put in a few years ago? I mean, this is just an example, going on a side tangent, where you can actually work off a strike because he was walking around with 2 strikes, and they were like, well, we're going to have to fire this dude if he gets another strike, so we'll quietly put this in there so he can work a strike off.
Yeah. And
so like I said, they make up their own rules as they go along.
And that's it's business. I get it. You do what you want. It's your own business. But from my point of view, from a moral point of view, yeah, I mean, if you're going to have rules and you're going to apply these rules, apply them. Don't make them up just so later on down the road you can be like, maybe we just need let's put a little white out there and change those words around and some white out over here.
They don't want to risk coming across as hypocrites,
but they are,
and they do it anyway. That's the funny thing. But they
I would rather them just go, all right, look, here's don't do drugs, these type of drugs. Mm-hmm. This stuff here will be punishable according to management. Something like that, because then at least it would be like, okay, yeah, we know exactly how this is going to go. Y'all are going to play favorites, but now you're having to play favorites and redo documents under the table type crap just to make yourself look fine, but it looks like an idiotic thing.
And there's always the money issue. You can't, with the issue last year with Roman Reigns being off TV, you can't have someone, when you literally put the whole company in this guy's hands and he does what he did and what happens last year with the wellness suspension, you can't afford to have that guy off TV, especially when you've taken it upon yourself to sacrifice other people's pushes and other people's potential to get this guy over, and it still's not working.
And that's the problem that they don't seem to understand.
It's not they. There's one guy who doesn't understand this.
Well, I say they as a generalized thing. Of course, we all know. But I say they because WWE is a company. So they all fall under the same umbrella to me.
Well, here's the thing. You can see that other people, not named that one guy, who I think everyone knows who we're talking about here, that when that one guy is not involved, you see, what happens with things like NXT. Yeah. Hunter runs a good show down there, and for a while, the buzz for that was way more than Raw or SmackDown. And
the problem on
there was a reason for that.
The problem on the primary shows is that certain person just pushes certain other superstars, just them, and they build them up, but they lack the building material for getting their other superstars up. So if you have a Roman Reigns who gets suspended, okay, let us show you that there are other people out here who are ready to be right up there, because
well, that goes back to the whole brass ring thing, and Bob Holly. I listened to an interview with Jason Solomonster. I listened to him interview Bob Holly, and Bob Holly, who was in the company for 15 years?
Yeah.
He literally said that you only get as far as they want you to get. So what I took from that is, it doesn't matter how much work you put in. It doesn't matter how much someone cheers for you. It doesn't matter how much people want you, unless it's a ridiculous situation like Daniel Bryan. And even with the Daniel Bryan situation, when it was obvious that people wanted it again the next year, Vince wasn't budging.
No.
He said, if they don't want you to get over, you're not getting over. Period.
That's
and you hear that with I heard a story a few weeks ago about Roman's the new the top merchandise guy. Well, yeah, he's going to be the top merchandise guy when you go to a show and you see 15 Roman Reigns shirts, and you see 10 Sheamus shirts, and you see 10 shirts for John Cena, and you see Braun Strowman didn't even have a shirt until earlier this week. They just made him a shirt.
Really?
Yes. I saw it earlier. I saw it maybe 2 days ago.
That's crazy.
So, and that's the excuse they always like to fall back on is, well, this guy moves a lot of merch. Well, yeah, he's going to move a lot of merch if he has 15 shirts, and you have your casual fan that walks up and goes, oh, I want to get a WWE shirt. Well, there's 15 shirts for Roman Reigns, so, majority rules. Let's just get one of these. He'll like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And if there's one Braun Strowman shirt,
that's just...
he's not going to sell as many shirts. That's just how it works.
It's a sad thing to see. It really is. Because you could do so much. The possibilities literally are endless. But whenever you're just narrow-mindedly looking at things and picking your favorites, pretty much you're just writing your own show for your own entertainment.
Yeah.
You're not doing it to put on the best show possible.
They want to tell their story. They don't give a fuck about what you want.
No, they don't even want to tell their story. They just want to see their story unfold in the ring. If you watch it or not, fuck off. All they care is that, hey, you're paying. Cool, we get money, but we don't really care. I'm enjoying this story right here. Oh, look at Steph. She's in there again talking crap to Mick Foley. This is fun. And it's like, no, it's not fun. We see it constantly. It happened for so long to everybody, and it was like, please just go away. You're not that entertaining. You are in spurts, I will give her that. But whenever you're doing it for 4 years and it's the same shtick,
you get go away heat.
Exactly. And then you try the whole, oh, Mick, we're going to be great together little nice thing for like 2 weeks. And it was like, why even try? Why even try?
Well, you knew that was coming. Everyone knew that was coming. Mick had been needing surgery, so, I mean, you knew he wasn't long for that job anyway.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you go through a whole change of where you're like, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be the girl that always would smile and stuff, and that you were like, that's a sweet little girl, and then you just change it all of a sudden. I mean, you knew the dude was needing hip replacement anyways whenever you hired him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was like, oh, thanks for hiring me, and by the way, I need a hip replacement. Dude was needing that a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like it was, oh, he's going to get a hip replacement, I need to quickly go back to being bad so that way we can keep a GM storyline going.
Well, dude, she's bipolar Stephanie. That's what a lot of people call her, because you don't know from segment to segment. And she doesn't even do it week to week. It's segment to segment. You do not know which Stephanie McMahon you're going to get. Or is she going to be a heel in this segment, or is she going to be a babyface?
She's just trying out.
And people don't know how to react to her, or if they do react, it's either in with indifference or it's with go away heat. It's not, oh, well, she's being a good heel right now. It's like, dude,
yeah,
please just go away. Like, I here's the thing, and I've said this to you when we're not recording. I used to be a big Stephanie buff in the early 2000s. I loved looking at Steph. I thought Steph was very attractive. Now, and whatever fault she may have had on screen, I could just quickly erase by looking at her. But Steph still looks good for her age. She's fine, but I mean, 40 years old is 40 years old. I think that's what she is these days, and it's not worth listening to the stuff. And she's gotten worse over time. It's not better. And it's like, dude, there's no, the whole authority figure in general is played the hell out. It's almost like, I was watching Impact a few years ago, and they tried to redo the whole NWO storyline with Aces and Eights, and it was so whack.
Yep.
It's like, this is so it's like, dude, it's not only the whole, oh man, Steph's the new, chicken charge like it was in the early 2000s.
No.
We've seen this same shit for 15 years.
It's
20
Vince
years.
McMahon with a transgender operation.
Right.
That is it.
Well, that's what they call her, the Vincess, right? You heard that, right?
Yes,
that's her nickname,
and
the Vincess.
that's just crazy. It's like, we're getting Vince again. Woohoo! She's going to get to the ring mad, storming at the women's champion or whatnot, and then she's going to try to slide in and tear both her quads. And we're going to be like, whoa! We've seen this before!
And again, look at how NXT's run, right? You rarely ever see the authority figure on the show. You rarely ever see Regal. And when he's around, it's always for a big announcement. He's a babyface authority figure. And it's for a big announcement. The Solid Monster has made this point. I listen to a lot of Solid Monster. He's made this point. And when he's around, it's for a big reason. And you know what? Most of the time, he's away from the show. And guess what? The superstars, they have the issue. It's not an issue with the superstar and an authority figure. No. It's the superstar, and they have an issue with another superstar. Yep. Well, the novel concept. You have a title. I would like your title. Now we're feuding. And you know what? It's not bad to watch. But when you have to come out and watch Steph emasculate people every week, again and again and again, and she can never get her comeuppance because she's a woman, and you can't hit woman. You could hit them two decades ago in the Attitude Era when it was the Wild West, but in 2017 you cannot hit a woman. So she
unless you're a woman, which Ronda Rousey proved.
Well, here's who's going to hit her in the women's division. She came
I would
out
really
of
like Bayley too.
She came out of retirement a few years ago to beat who was it, Nikki Bella?
Yeah.
And then went right back into retirement.
Yeah.
That's right out of her husband's playbook. He did the same thing with fucking CM Punk and what was it, Summer Punk?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean
it's
so she doesn't even get her comeuppance from the women.
No, it's just crap. It's truthfully just, it's played out. And it's old, and I'm happy that she's off TV. I really am. I am happy that it's just Kurt Angle.
Well, bad news. I read the vacation. They went on her and Triple H went on vacation. They're back, so expect her back any week now, I'm sure.
Seriously?
Yes.
Y'all need to take another vacation. This one can be on y'all. I ain't gonna say it's on me. I ain't got that type of money. Y'all go to Hawaii on y'all, okay? Enjoy it for me, though. But take another at least month. We need you gone. Just please. Kurt Angle's doing a great job, Steph. He really is. Leave him alone. But anyways, back to the Braun thing, because we got way off guard.
Yeah, we went on a 10-minute tangent there.
But yeah, I mean, Angle gets in the ring. There's going to be a match at Payback, him and Roman. And then Braun's like, fine, whatever. But what about tonight?
Yeah, because Kurt tries to give him the night off, and he doesn't want any of that.
And he's like, you either give me more, or he's going to teach Angle what more is.
No, he says, give me more or else. And then Angle goes, well, what does or else mean?
Well,
and he just walks off.
Well,
and then we find out what or else means.
Well, at the top of the ramp, which is why I said, he said, I'm going to teach you what more is.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he turned back around and was yelling that back at Angle. I like Braun yelling at people.
I asked you this. Did you notice that their interaction didn't seem very scripted?
No, it didn't.
Because, I mean, you could tell when guys are trying to remember their lines, but they seem to be the flow a little better than normal. I don't know if that was them kind of going off the cuff or, they just, prepared for this segment well enough, but they didn't seem like they were,
The only thing I noticed was slight hesitations, but it could have been just, okay, he just said that to me, let me form my sentence real quick so I don't sound like a jackass whenever I speak.
Right.
Because truthfully, sometimes people speak too quickly and you can get your words jumbled up.
Oh, Randy Orton has a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
Times.
Oh, yeah, very much so. And, but yeah, I mean, I wish Baron Corbin could speak like Braun Strowman.
Right. Instead of hearing the beeps and boops.
Exactly. If he could speak
he
like
speaks
Braun
like a robot.
Strowman, I would be great with
people.
that. Just tell him you're going to beat him up. Tell him why you're going to beat him up. Tell him how you're going to beat him up. And then leave. You don't need to explain a whole, I'm by myself because I choose to be.
Yeah.
And say
It's almost like they're trying to tell people who it may be their first time watching the show. They're trying to explain to them who this character is.
Every episode.
Yeah.
I'm the lone wolf. Hey, guys. This is Baron Corbin, the lone wolf. And it's like, okay, guy, yeah, it says it on your jacket, bro.
I'm a tough guy.
We see it. Like, visually, we see you have no friends. You wear a shirt that says you have no friends. And that's fine. That's fine. But I don't need you to explain it and explain
You also
why.
wear a shirt because people made fun of your tummy and they told you to put on a shirt.
Yeah, his belly button was a little weird.
It looked like a sad face.
It really did. And, I mean, truthfully, after hearing some of his mic work, I would be a sad face, too.
Well, no, mad respect, though, because he lost a lot of weight. They said he was an NFL lineman, so he lost a ton of weight.
Oh, yeah, he looks great. Don't get me wrong. Hey, look, I look goofy. I've got a third nipple on my neck, damn it. I got picked on through high school for that shit.
Well, shit, I put on about 50 pounds in the last 7 months trying to get my career going, so... Hey, I can't hate on anyone's weight, but,
If you look goofy, you look goofy.
Right.
It's just being called. That's it.
Anyway, we got the Samoa Joe, Chris Jericho matches next. We got Seth Rollins out on commentary, who added nothing to the match, I thought.
No. No.
Jericho had new stage graphics. I'm marked for stuff like that. Did you pay attention to any of that? He had very bright, vibrant colors rather than the
okay,
old,
yeah, that's what I was thinking it was, but then for some odd reason I had Bailey come to mind, and I was like, no, but I really do think that was Chris Jericho.
Yeah, it was Jericho. I liked it, though. The match was really, I didn't really think it was anything special. You could tell it was a run-of-the-mill Monday Night Raw match.
Well, Chris really didn't look ready at first. I mean, as soon as the bell rang, Samoa Joe came over there and was like, I'm going to put you in the corner and start punching you.
Right.
And Chris looked like he didn't understand what was about to happen. He was like, why are you doing this to me, man? Can we be friends? Can we not have a cup of Joe?
Well, to me, this was one of those matches that, and there was a few of those on this show, that it was just a backdrop to what was going to happen after the match. And that's what generally these damn shows are these days. You remember the good old days when they would actually make actual things happen on Raw? There were actual title changes sometimes. Yeah. Everything now was, we need to, leave things at a cliffhanger, so you'll buy the pay-per-view.
The only time they did that here recently was with Charlotte. She would drop the title on Raw, but she would win it back on pay-per-view.
Right, and they were going out of their way to make the pay-per-view streak a thing, and they actually wanted to go out of their way to make the Sasha-Charlotte rivalry appear to be great. And
yeah, so, it was kind of lackluster. But
well, no, I actually dug what they did because it honestly reminded me of Triple H and The Rock in, I want to say it was 2000 or 2001, one of those years. It had to be 2000 because Triple H got hurt in 2001. They switched the belt a ton that year. Some of The Rock's title reigns were like 3 weeks and shit like that.
Yeah, I just got tired of the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Like, Charlotte would win it, or Charlotte had it. She'd retain at the pay-per-view. Sasha, I want my rematch. And then she would lose it right there on Raw. And then Sasha would go on to hold it till the next pay-per-view, and then Charlotte would challenge her, and she would lose.
Well, here's the difference.
And Charlotte would
Here's
win.
the difference between the two scenarios I just described. We had The Rock in his prime on the microphone and Triple H in his prime on the microphone versus in the Attitude Era versus Charlotte and Sasha now. So, I mean, off the bat, they're nowhere near those two on the microphone, and then they're handicapped by the PG
but
shit.
see, to me, doing repetitive matches like that, and you can't have anybody actually build it up, it's just the same old. You can't create something new. Stop it. I mean, you're just giving us a rerun.
I disagree, and I'll tell you where I can give you an example of why I disagree. Because with the streak, we knew how that was going to end every single year. But the build, there were times where the build was. I mean, I remember watching the even before the streak became huge. One of my favorite matches was WrestleMania 23, Batista and The Undertaker. And even though I knew The Undertaker was probably winning that match because they weren't going to give that streak to Batista, that match and the build of that match was awesome. And I remember that was, if just go back and watch it, it was real. It's not really talked about as one of his greater matches on the streak, but it was an awesome match to me. The shit with Shawn Michaels, I knew going into 26 that Michaels wasn't coming out, with his career. But the build and anybody that pays attention to those video packages they make, and which I do, anybody that watched that video package will tell you that is probably the greatest one they ever did. The video package from Michaels Undertaker for 26.
Yeah.
So you can do things right if. Even if it's obvious what the outcome's going to be and it's obvious how things are going to go.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree to that. But my problem is when you don't have two people who can keep it going. It's like they just rekindle the same old stuff just to, now we're back at this again where you're going to win at the pay-per-view and I'm going to win back on Raw, so let's just recycle the same stuff. If it was like Batista and Undertaker or Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, where they actually had build, there were different things for each time that they fought each other. It wasn't all the exact same, I'm going to come after your streak. No, I'm going to come after your streak. At one point in time, it was Michaels and Undertaker. Let's do this. Let's one last time. And then it was like, let's put my career on the line.
They tried, but it was...
Yeah, I give them effort for trying.
It was doing things for the sake of doing things. It was doing things to make it seem more epic rather than having the thing come across as more epic.
And that's where
it was very forced.
Exactly, and that's where I feel...
So yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, and that's my only complaint about it, is that towards the end, now it's just repetitive. Yeah. I already know what's going to happen. What I'm expecting is for better segments between the two. Maybe a different story in the ring, but you're doing the same stick, and I'm watching it week in and week out.
I got a question. Do you think that it could have had to do with the bastardization of some of these pay-per-views and gimmick matches and stuff?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do you remember back in the day, and I'll go back to the Attitude Era or even the Ruthless Aggression Era, before they started doing these gimmick matches all the fucking time, when a Hell in a Cell match was announced, you knew that this just got real because that was only thrown in to blow off a feud and to, this has got to come to its great climax in the most dangerous match we have, and we don't have these often, so you need to see this. Now, we have at least 2 to 3 every fucking year.
Well,
so it makes them less important.
I feel,
and if you remember the Hell in a Cell match that they had with Sasha and Charlotte last year, it wasn't even the last match of the feud.
No,
it was like thrown in the middle, so it felt like shit basically.
Well, I feel what they were doing at that point in time was, okay, we've gotten women up to this point now. We're main eventing Monday night. We've main evented pay-per-views. We're looking good. Now, let's show them real quick that we can do all the matches that men can do as well, which is fine. Right. But you tried to shove it down our throats. You're like, take this Hell in a Cell match. Here's that Iron Man match.
You know what it's like almost? It's like a lot of the indie matches where they do so many fucking high spots that you can't process it all because they don't wrestle any psychology.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
And
that's exactly what it is.
And that's the problem with
it. But to be fair, most people these days, their fucking attention span is 5 seconds. So I can understand why they would think that would work.
And it's possible, but
for traditionalists like myself, it's like, what are you doing right
now? Even that, but you've got people who come in and out. We all know that. If you've got that many people in attendance at Raw, you've got quite a few people who are going to try to catch Raw every night. Mm-hmm. You've got a very big fan base for that. If you are trying your hardest to just make every night blow every person's mind always, and we're going to catch your attention and you'll forever be hooked, you're going to fail.
Yep.
Because you don't have the time. No one wants to spend that much time. 3 hours for Raw. People are falling asleep.
Didn't we have this conversation?
We did.
Like 3 weeks ago?
We did. And it's...
I think I was on the other side of this argument too. Or I was saying you can't blow people's minds every night because then they'll...
And the only thing I said to that was to have at least 2 or 3 good matches. Great matches.
Right.
I'm not saying you have to blow everybody's mind, but have genuine good fought matches. Because even those just good fought matches pull in attention.
I think one 20-minute main event per Raw and SmackDown, it should be mandatory.
And and that's fine. And then 2 good 10-minute matches. And that's enough. Then you can have a few shoot matches. The Kevin Owens versus whoever that guy was.
One less Titus brand segment, which was fucking off. I will get to that, but
anyways, let's continue on because I don't even think. Okay, right. Yeah, we're still in Joe and Chris, and we got
we're like 30 minutes in.
Right, that's crazy. We haven't even made it that far through Raw.
Okay, so what do we got? I said there was nothing to see here. Basically, I thought the whole match was a backdrop to the promo after. The promo after. Joe won clean with the Coquina clutch, as he should have.
Real quick though, Chris Jericho took way too long to choke out to that.
You think?
He was held in it standing for a while. Went for the pin, which still was putting pressure on his neck. Joe didn't let go ever. Then he rolled into the Coquina clutch, and everybody else he's done this to, they fight for a few seconds, and then you see them get weak, and then they're just gone. Chris Jericho's hand stayed up in the air, sitting there shaking the whole time for it seemed like ever.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it though.
To me, if it made the move not look as vicious as what it was, the one that did injury to Seth Rollins.
Right.
Now it just looked like he was kind of holding him.
Yeah.
A man hug.
I could understand it, but I didn't. The fact that I still like that. I'll give them credit where credit is due because a lot of times, even when the right thing to do is obvious, they still don't do it. So the fact that Joe is still looking strong, I'm good.
Oh yeah,
I'm good.
Oh, Joe looks great. He looked great through that whole match.
I can live with them fucking the Coquina clutch up for a week.
And like I said, that's my one pick on that match. Just a little nudge. I was like, come on, he's choking him out here.
Yeah. Joe he cut a great promo. I thought he did.
Yes.
And I thought Seth. Even though I enjoyed that Seth was short and sweet, I thought he completely got outshined by Joe on the microphone.
Oh, definitely.
It just is what it is, and that's when we were having the discussion a few weeks ago before we started this podcast. When I was talking about Joe and why I preferred Joe over Braun or Baron as far as monsters go, it was because Joe is very natural, very gifted on the microphone when given the opportunity.
Oh yeah.
By the way, not to go on another tangent here, but I read on the quote unquote dirt sheets earlier this week that they're still. Even though Braun is getting hot and people are starting to dig Braun, they still would prefer Baron to be the one that gets to a higher level than Braun.
But here's the thing. You've got them on separate brands.
I understand that, but they still, like, even separately, if they're given the choice, they choose Baron over Braun.
I told you. Baron's my dude. Okay, he's not really my dude. He's high on my list. The Hardys are forever my guys. I mean, much respect. Right. Singles.
I read something on that too.
Oh, yeah, about the Broken?
About them actively pursuing getting it now?
Yes.
So,
oh, yeah. They want it. Because WWE sees...
They want it bad because they're willing to work with Impact.
We've got that's to like... We will get to that. We are going on a tangent. Let us get to there, and then we will go on that tangent.
All right, next I got Braun. We cut the Braun in the back, and we got Gallows and Anderson, and they walk past the Drifter backstage on the way to the ring for their match against the Golden Truth. Then we cut to Golden Truth, and Golden Truth gets absolutely demolished by Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I think Braun thought that gate was going to hold Goldust. Because he kind of stared at it like...
I did too. And then Goldust just disappeared.
Oh yeah, and they didn't even flash back to him. Like, they stayed on Truth. And Truth looked like he got his ass handed to him, but they did not go back to Goldust. They were like, nah, that dude just got, like, thrown into concrete. He didn't even get thrown into a fence. He was thrown straight into concrete.
Okay, so we got...
But yeah, and then he freaking... How he just kicked Truth in the back. And Truth is getting up, and there's that fucking recycling bin thing in front of him.
Right.
And he just, like, kicked him in the back, and Truth just smacked straight into it. Knocked down whatever was standing, like, 2 carts back. That's a lot of force.
Yeah, he works. I mean, you could tell last week when he started that whole thing with Roman where he threw him... what was it, you threw him over something onto that table at the very beginning.
Yeah, one of those big
boxes. Like, dude, Roman's like boxes. 270 pounds, and he got a ton of air.
Oh, yeah, lots of air. So if he would have delivered a Superman punch then, it would have been over.
The refs try to get Braun to take the night off, and he says he'll leave when he wants to leave, unless the ref has a problem with that. And the ref promptly scurries away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. And just a quick side note, because of the ref here, I saw something where it apparently said that a referee had died. But it looked just like the referee that went and talked to Braun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And so I was confused. It could be a whole different referee, and I was just intoxicated at the moment, possibly. I don't know. But it really did look like that guy, and I was like, are they saying that because he went and told Braun that he's got to go, that Braun killed him?
Right. Dude, these refs these days are looking fucking interchangeable. I couldn't tell you, other than Little Nate, I couldn't tell you any of the refs' names anymore. I used to know all the refs' names back in the day. Now they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, they just throw whoever in. I can tell you the face of the one dude who, I don't know if he botched or helped out Eva Marie.
Yeah,
but I know his face. I can point him out in the crowd. Now I'm always like, you little bitch. That's what you get for helping Eva Marie out. You best not screw this one up.
That's the one that had to tell her to smile when she won, right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. But anyways.
What a colossal failure that was. Holy shit. Anyway, we get the replacement for the Golden Truth against Gallows and Anderson ends up being Enzo and Cass to a big pop. They do their normal pre-match spiel, and we get a reference to Dash Wilder having the broken jaw, and he's going to be out for apparently till the beginning of summer, and that fucking sucks. I hate that. I hate that the Revival will not be around, even though I do think they're destined to dominate this division.
It just kind of puts a hinder because they had a really big pop, really big push, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
And it fucking sucks because Then they wore a shirt last week, so we broke Kofi's ankle, and then fucking Dash gets his.
Yeah.
And I did hear this. Did you hear the match that supposedly happened in?
Shinsuke Nakamura. In a Kinshasa.
He's gonna get a reputation for hurting people, so
yeah.
He's got a. I don't know.
And you want to know what's crazy is? I didn't even hear that. I knew it as soon as I heard he had a broke jaw at a live event. I was like, he must have had a fight with Shinsuke Nakamura and took a knee to the face.
It was supposedly the Revival versus Hideo Itami and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I'm not sure it was Nakamura that delivered the blow, but I'm guessing it probably was.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's some craziness, Shin. Gotta watch out for that shit.
Yeah, you gotta, because, I mean, you're gonna get to the main roster and do that to somebody like Randy Orton, and you're gonna be relegated to the mid-card for the rest of your career.
For the rest, you will be Smackdown #1 reporter.
Right. He's gonna be rechristened Ching Chong Bing Bong.
Oh my gosh. Please don't, Shin. I mean, even if you gotta change your move, just something.
Anyway, we got so here we go. Nothing new here. Your typical Cass and Enzo match with Enzo getting worked over.
Yep.
Over and over again.
Over
and over again. Oh, it seemed like he got worked over for about 10 minutes.
Hey, at least he can take a beating.
Apparently, Vince likes him taking a beating. That's why he takes so much of a beating every week. Vince likes watching him get the shit kicked out of him.
If it gives you money.
I guess, man, but the fuck.
He's probably like, all right, I want you to dress like some of them hipsters I see out there that I don't like, and then go in there and get your ass kicked. And then he's sitting at home like eating popcorn, like, that's what you get, all you hippies.
Did you hear the whole thing with him liking Noam Dar? The way he said Alicia Fox's name, and that's why he fucking said it like 4 times a promo for a few weeks. You know, he goes, Alicia Fox. Oh, yeah. Because it sounds like Alicia Fox. That's why Noam Dar would say that like 4 times a promo for a few weeks a while back. Vince, man, his fucking weirdo sense of humor. So yeah, when you see Enzo getting the shit kicked out of him excessively for like 15 minutes when he's getting worked over, it's all Vince. He likes to see Enzo get his ass kicked. Anyway, the inevitable hot tag for Cass came, and he did what he does. He cleaned house. The finish came when Enzo and Cass go for the rocket launcher, because I refuse to say the other name of that finish.
The bada boom shotgun.
Oh, God. Anyway. Gallows catches Enzo in midair. And so he can't hit Anderson with it. Cass then hits a stunned Gallows with a big boot. They both fly out of the ring. Carl Anderson botches whatever the hell he was going for. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Do you? You have any idea what that was?
None.
It just involved him throwing Enzo legs first into the top rope, and then Enzo kind of flopped off that and fell into the ring. And you could tell the announcers had no idea what to make of that either. I think Michael Cole said something to the extent of, "I've never seen a match won in such a unique way," or some stupid shit like that. It's like, dude, it was like a nice call on the move there, because no one knows what that was. But I mean, that the match was what it was. Typical, like I said, typical Enzo and Cass match. If you watch one,
it was filler.
Yeah,
that's really all it is. And unfortunately, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are reduced now to filler.
Well, they've been filler. At least Carl Anderson's on the winning side of it. Jesus Christ, I don't know that he got a win the first 7 months he was in the company. He was always the fucking the guy getting pinned in all their matches.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least he gets a pin here. Next up, we had the Miz TV segment.
Woo! Smackdown Live. Wait. Right. Oh, we're on Raw still. My bad.
Right, with a Smackdown Live fucking feud that we saw literally like 4 months ago.
Yes! This is awesome.
God.
Remix!
This time it'll be much worse. Because Raw's doing it. Instead
of it being blue, we'll be red. Yeah.
Although there were some good elements to this next segment. Like always, none of them came from Dean Ambrose.
No.
We'll get to this. Miz is out. He goes to introduce Dean Ambrose, but Ambrose comes out before he can be introduced because wacky Dean. Dean says he loves the show, and he's been looking forward to it all week. He's surprised. He gets surprised when Miz says that he's still angry about the dirty deeds that he got from wacky Dean, because wacky Dean.
Yep.
Anyway, Dean begins to make fun of the way that the Miz is dressed. And Miz responds by basically shooting on Ambrose, saying that he is and has become lazy and complacent. And I started cheering and marking out when I watched that part because I was like, he's fucking right.
He is. Well, I mean...
And I got a question. Is this going to be the Miz's gimmick from now on, is just shooting on folks?
That would be nice.
That would be hilarious, because I would actually watch every Miz segment from now on. If that's,
he's good at it.
That's what he's good to do.
I mean, he's not really a great comedian.
You don't have to be when you're telling the truth.
Exactly. He is a good asshole.
Right.
I mean,
it boggles my mind when they try to force him to be a face. It's like, dude, no, he is a heel.
Yeah.
People want to boo the Miz.
Exactly.
And if you make him a cool heel, he'll get cheered anyway, if that's what your ultimate goal is here.
Yeah, because especially if you put him up against people like Dean or other people that...
An actual cool heel, by the way, not Dean Ambrose, who tries to play this too cool for school bullshit.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's good at ripping on people. Like, if you put him in the rings with Roman Reigns, he would get cheered. He would be an asshole, but he would get cheered. Because he would talk some shit about Roman. But that ain't gonna happen, because how dare you talk shit about Roman?
Dude, you could put Donald Trump in the same ring as Roman Reigns. I think Roman would still get booed.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that as a... Well, just fuck it. I mean, yes, Miz would get cheered, of course, because he's... But I mean,
get what you're saying, though.
He would get a bigger pop for the cheer.
Right. Just look at Mania. I mean, the response Miz got there, you would have thought it was a rock. People hated Cena so much that the Miz was actually turned face. The impossible happened. Anyway, what do we got here? A couple more too cool for school lines from Mr. Ambrose, like he always does. And it didn't help him save face, so he ends up attacking the Miz. He goes for dirty deeds, but Miz scurries away.
And truthfully, his whole little thing right there that he was doing whenever he folded up the jacket, why the hell did he throw it at Maurice?
Because he's corny, dude. He's wacky. He's Wacky Dean.
That's dumb. You throw it at the Miz. You hit the Miz with it. As soon as he turned around and looked at you to say something, don't let him finish his sentence. Hit that bitch in the face with your jacket. Dirty deed's done. It would have looked a lot better.
He's Wacky Dean, man. He's Wacky Dean. He's Diet Roddy Piper. He's whatever you want to call him. He's just... Get off my TV. God. Just get off my TV, dude.
And that sucks, because I had high hopes for him when he was in Shield.
I did too. I actually thought that he would turn into a top-notch heel.
Yeah. He had a good shit-talking aspect about him. And then...
Very creepy. Like, you remember those initial Shield promos before they exposed how big their boner was for Roman, when they actually let Dean lead the promos?
Oh, yeah.
And before Rollins had any idea what to do with the microphone, Dean was good.
Yeah.
He sounded very natural.
I think...
He sounded very menacing. Now it's like Wacky Dean.
Well, it's because I think the problem is that he's pushed to be this supreme face. And truthfully, I think he would be better as a heel.
I think he'd be better as a heel too, but
not Wacky Dean heel.
Yeah.
Asshole Dean heel. The creepy Dean heel. If you want to be lunatic, be creepy lunatic. I would prefer you to be creepy lunatic.
I don't think he could be good in this era. Put it that way.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think he could be good with PG cuffs holding him back. But that also doesn't explain away everything, because I also believe he's the drizzling shits in the ring. And because he can't be menacing as a heel, or just menacing as a face. I mean, you could be a tweener. It exposes even more that he's the shits in the ring.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I think Miz looked good here. He looks good anytime he shoots on people, because, I mean, they don't allow it. So now that they're kind of letting the Miz work this into his character a little bit, I find it intriguing.
And I don't know this for fact, but I think John might have had a little bit to do with that. Maybe he was like, you know what? I like mine and Miz's back and forth. He's good at it.
Right.
Let's let this play out. Let's let this go. Because whenever he's trying to hurt somebody, he's trying to say some rude shit, he can say it. but he can't do it with y'all giving him a script.
Right.
And I think that might have helped open his door a little bit.
Well, I mean, I would love to hear something like that, because all those stories you hear about people running in with John Cena in the back, they usually ain't good stories.
Yeah, and that's there's part of me who I see good that people can do, and if I had that opportunity, what I feel I would do, and so that's what I would hope that would happen. But yeah, no, I also
Again, I'll shout out Solid Monster again. He also made a really good point too. He was talking about some of the stories that you hear about the guys who were top guy, like the Hogans and the Rocks and the Austins. There's a certain level of paranoia. Then so you have to be built a certain way to get to the top of that company and to stay on top of that company.
Yeah.
So I don't know that. And Cena has this in it too. It's eerie how similar him and Hogan are in some ways. But I don't know. Like I said, a lot of the stories, just like with Hogan, like you hear a lot of stuff with Hogan. Hogan was a prick behind the scenes. It's usually all bad. So I would love to hear something good that he did like that. But you never know.
Well, and whenever you say it's kind of weird to think of Cena and Hogan being like really similar, I don't really think it is that weird. Look at him. Hogan made big grand gestures. He would always call to the audience and I'm listening to you. And
No, I don't mean on screen. I mean off screen.
Off screen.
With the stuff that you hear about how they were backstage, they're very, very similar like that.
I would still...
Like I said, top guys there are wired a certain way to stay on top, and the way they Shawn Michaels, the way they politic and shit backstage.
Yeah.
You got to be wired a certain way. That's why it's amazing someone like Daniel Bryan got to the top of that company, even if it was for a little bit.
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of voices can make a difference, but unfortunately it doesn't make a difference for a very long time.
Right.
It can make a difference for a period of time. But at some point in time, the voices aren't there anymore, and then it's just the power-hungry people.
Like I said, the very next year, after they got that main event changed at 30, which the fans absolutely did, that very next year with Brock and Roman, the stuff I was reading at the time was like, Vince has dug his heels in. He is not going to have his mind change. This is going to be the main event.
Yeah.
And all it did was make people hate Roman even more.
Oh, yeah. And that's kind of what... buried Roman, like
Vince has done this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Roman got cheered less than 4 years ago.
Oh yeah,
like Rockstar reception. The Shield toward the end,
like John Cena.
And Vince has done this to him by being stubborn. I mean, he's going to be the top guy, but he's never going to be respect. Just like Cena, like when Cena inevitably goes in the Hall of Fame, he's never going to get the respect that he should get, because of what he's accomplished, because of how they treated the character.
Yeah. Yeah, it just I don't know.
I mean, he'll get the respect from the guys in the business, but he will not get the respect. And they have those Hall of Fames open to the crowd. Can you imagine the boos he's going to get when he goes? And I mean, come on now. And I mean, if you think it's going to be any different for Roman Reigns if they don't change something,
yeah,
then you're kidding yourself here. Anyway, we got the next segment here. We got Braun and the Big Show.
You cannot cut Kalisto out like that.
I'm not. We're getting to Kalisto. That was the next sentence. Braun is seen finishing off Kalisto. Kalisto's career has devolved into him getting the shit kicked out of him every week
was
on
put
TV.
Where his career is at this point.
That was literally my next line in my notes. Literally, I said, hold on, no, it was not the next line. It's like 2 lines down. But I said, what I wrote next was, if Dean Ambrose is Diet Roddy Piper, then Kalisto is Diet Rey Mysterio Jr.
He's not even Diet like Ray. He's like non-existent. He's Ray's ghost, and Ray's not even dead yet. That's the crazy thing. I mean, he was picked up and thrown away, and it didn't even look nice. Like it looked like his head hit the side there.
I'm glad that you weren't I wasn't the only one that picked up on where his career is and where he was getting thrown in that segment. That is hilarious.
No, they do shit like that for a reason. Sorry, yes, I'm volunteering to get thrown away. No, you're not volunteering. You have no choice.
Right.
What else are you gonna do? Go to Lucha Underground?
Contract? Here, you got to get Kalisto on 205. Either get Kalisto on 205 Live or cut him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're killing this guy.
Yeah, and I mean, he would be at least something good for 205 Live.
Oh, he'd be great in 205 Live. He's actually a talented guy. And just like someone else we're going to reference here in a little bit. But he's just getting stuck with dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
Braun tosses Kalisto into the garbage right next to his career in 2017 to this point.
Yeah. Yep. They were cozy. Cuddle buddies right there at the bottom, underneath the pizza box, I believe. Little Caesar shout out.
Braun goes to walk off and gets body checked by the Big Show, who screams at him that he should pick on someone his own size.
It was a little bit long of a pause for me. It was like the camera was looking at one, then looking at the other, then looking at one.
It is, but you want to know what? The way I look at that shit... these days, being a fucking wrestling fan of 25 years, it's like lag when you play video games online. Some shit you just gotta overlook, because that's just...
And again, I'm complaining, but I'm not really complaining. I'm pointing out the one thing in the segment that didn't look good to me.
It didn't.
I mean, whenever the camera has to pan back and forth 4 times... Sorry, but I'm sitting here like, dude, this is not a ping pong match. You twice pan to Braun, pan to Big Show, pan to Braun, and on your way up to Big Show again, you're gonna be like, pick on somebody your own size. And it's like, all right, cool, we ended this, but no, y'all did it like 15 times. I was like getting motion sickness from how many times the camera was just back and forth. And Braun didn't look like he knew what to do. He's like, should I get up? Should I stay down?
Right, he did. I noticed that.
Now I'm going to move myself away a little bit and look at you differently. Should I be hurt? No, I'm not going to be hurt. And I'm like, Braun, what are you doing? The camera needs to just stop pointing at you.
You know what I was thinking was going to happen? I was thinking that he was going to like try to get up, and Big Show, like once Braun got to a knee, was just going to push his ass back down. But that never happened. He just was like looking at him, like you said, like he didn't know what to do.
He was like, maybe I'll just, you know what? This ground's kind of cold. I like it against my arse. So I'll just sit here for a minute because it's nice. What you got to say about that, Big Show? And he's like, pick on somebody your own size. He's like, that's not even the question I asked you, bro. I was asking about the concrete, but okay.
So, yeah, we got that, and... I don't know. What did you feel? I didn't want to see it again.
Big Show
and Braun. The reason I didn't want to see it again is because they had such a good match a few weeks ago, and I knew they weren't going to do better than that.
I didn't want to see it again either, but we will get to that match. Because, granted, we've seen it before.
And we saw it good. Like, it didn't need to be messed with.
I was still impressed. During
the match?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
It was all on Braun's end.
Oh, well, Big Show
Big Show didn't do anything.
We'll get to that match.
Big Show didn't do anything.
We'll get to that match. I much love for both of them. We'll get to that match, but let's move on from that.
We had Jack Gallagher and TJ Perkins. Right. I wish I gave a shit about this match. I
do
just
too.
don't.
I don't either.
It was an okay match, but again, it's one of these matches that served as background to set up the finish.
Truthfully, I didn't even watch it.
Did you not?
No.
I watched it and I rewatched it today just to get what I could out of it. The finish had Perkins shoving Jack Gallagher into Austin Aries, who was at ringside, along with Neville, who was also at ringside for reasons unknown to anyone.
Boyfriends don't cry.
Aries takes exception to the attack by Neville. Hold on, did I write that right? I don't even know if I wrote that right. But anyway, the ref is paying attention on the outside to Aries and Neville because Neville knocked Aries off the ring apron. And while this is going on, you get a detonation kick from TJ Perkins to Gallagher, who Gallagher was getting back into the ring after being thrown on the Aries, and he kicked the ring rope into his throat. And then from there, he hit a detonation kick, and I hated this, actually. And here's the thing. What the hell are they doing with Jack Gallagher?
Ruining him?
Yes, they are. He had so much momentum coming off the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, yeah.
And they completely mismanaged him. They turned him... I hate this. I hate what they do to people when they get them on the main. They can't be... Here's the thing.
Well,
TJ Perkins was not this video game guy. I mean, that's the thing he does in his personal life. But he was not this video game guy during the Cruiserweight Classic.
No, he was a hip-hop guy.
Exactly. And they get people and they WWEize them. So now you have Jack Gallagher being a fucking parody of himself, jumping off the top rope with an umbrella, fucking Mary Poppins style. Like, what is that? He wasn't doing that shit in the Cruiserweight Classic. I hate that. I hate that he's playing background to all of this when he could easily be being pushed as a top guy in that division.
Bro,
it pissed me off, really, when I
Truthfully, comic books are a tale of the future. Jack Gallagher is going to be Alfred. He's going to be the freaking butler for Batman. I'm telling you. A trained fighter, somebody to look after somebody who's proper and English. He is Alfred. That's sad. You are Alfred.
Or the Mel Mary Poppins if WWE has their way.
Ooh, no. I'm going to make you Alfred because
with William the Third.
Ooh, no, stop it. I am Henry VIII. I am. You're just gonna get your head chopped off from Vinnie Mac, all right? Just watch yourself, Jack.
When you see shit like that, though, you wonder, like, do some of these guys wish they had not signed? Like, I wonder, not somebody like Cena or somebody like this, but like the average guy, right? That has stars in their eyes when they see that WWE contract, and then they sign. And even though the money, and I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about the guys that just, do it for the money. Like, there's plenty of guys that sit on the roster and do it for the money. I'm talking about the guys that would be quote unquote marks, that grew up loving wrestling. And even though they're getting to wrestle, they're miserable doing what they're doing at that moment. So somebody like Cody Rhodes would leave the company to go, do fucking crazy things and crazy matches for like, a fraction of the money. I wonder what they think when they get on the roster and they start getting mismanaged like this. Like, how quickly do they go, what the fuck was I thinking?
Very quickly. I'm pretty sure, I would say about 3 to 6 months after they sign.
You think it's that quick?
I do, because, and here's how it plays out in my head. Because I am a big fan. I would have loved to be a wrestler.
Right.
It would have been awesome. I would love to do commentary. I would love to be a ring announcer. I could do ring announcer.
Right.
I've got a great voice. I pronounce my words. It's great.
That's the one knock on JoJo is a lot of times she talks so fast you can't understand what the hell she's saying.
Exactly. You've got to make sure your words are spaced. Mm-hmm. But where was I going with this? Oh, the whole thing. If I became a wrestler, it would be amazing. Because it's a dream. It's something you didn't think could happen. Mm-hmm. You went out and you tried, and oh my God, I actually made it here because this is what I watched. This is the dream for me. And then all of a sudden you realize that your dream is just like your other jobs. It's just like working at a parts store or a restaurant or anything else. You have people who run the company. You're going to do it their way. What you have to say doesn't matter. And if you want to complain about it, there's the door. Oh, wait, you have a contract. You're just going to look like garbage until it runs out.
Exactly. And that was what I was going to say. In that way, it's worse because you can go... If you work at Kenny's Shoes, you can get fucking sick of that one day on Thursday and go, well, fuck this job. I'm not coming back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can't do that in WWE.
No.
You're under contract.
And the reason why they make you look like garbage is, we don't want none of these indie people picking you up either.
Right.
We don't want to show them what you can do.
Which is why we're going to give you a 90-day no-compete clause.
Exactly. So it's like, truthfully, it's selling your soul to the devil. Which sucks.
And hoping you can become like lead general, and if not...
Exactly. It's hoping that you have what it takes in the very first 3 to 6 months to impress the only person that matters. Vince.
I can't believe that someone like Tyler Breeze, who worked on that gimmick forever, and he got to the main roster, and within 2 months, Vince had killed the gimmick dead, and now he's walking around doing fucking Village People.
Yeah, it sucks. Sucks a big one. But let's move on.
Anyway, next we had the Apollo Crews, Tozawa, and Titus O'Neil segment. This segment was awful. I did like that they actually had Crews and Tozawa together, because I think they're shoot best friends. Like, I think they're actually best friends in real life. So that's cool that they actually let them on screen together. The less said about this segment, the better. Crews is having a kid, so congrats to him on that.
Cool.
That was let out in the segment. Titus O'Neil is death. I'm sorry. Titus is a great dude, great guy in real life. He does a lot of good things, but he is get off my TV, go away heat with me. Like, he is awful. And anyone associated with Titus on screen, it's bad news, and it's awful that Apollo Crews is now associated with this guy, with this Titus brand bullshit, which goes nowhere. Apollo Crews deserves better than this. He deserved to be in NXT longer. He deserved to work on his character longer. But Vince saw him, and he saw what he could do, and he fucking skyrocketed this guy up to the main roster. Yeah, he did.
He did not see what he could do.
He did. That's the report.
He saw his muscles.
He saw what he could do. And but the look obviously is what
because if he saw what he could do, he would have pushed him a little bit more.
No, because that's the thing. He changes his mind like a female, so he instantly died on whatever boner he had for dude right after he got to the main roster, and he's floundered since.
Yeah, definitely.
And what's going to end up having to happen is Crews is going to have to leave the WWE like Drew McIntyre just did, go back to the Indies, make a name for himself again, and have WWE take their head out and go, hey, maybe we did something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
Let's offer him a contract. It sucks that people have to do that when they're under contract for you, and you run them into the ground, and you condition people not to care about them, so they stop giving a shit, and then they have to go leave to show what they can actually do because you won't let them do it on your roster.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. But anyways,
let's get the hell off brand. That's awful. I don't know if you have anything else to say about that.
No, I had nothing actually. I wrote nothing down about that literally because I was not interested. Right. I think I was clipping my toenails. That was more interesting to me at the moment. I gotta keep my feet looking nice.
God. Yeah, keep the feet looking nice. Although dudes' feet are supposed to be disaster areas. Female, I can't mess with a chick with bad feet, but that's another issue.
What, dude? I wasn't serious about the clipping the toenails. That was just.
I don't know.
That was kayfabe, baby.
Me and somebody else were having this discussion the other day, and somehow I can't mess with a chick's feet that has bad feet.
You telling me you don't suck on no toes?
Not if they look fucking like you've been unhusking corn with them all day.
Well, yeah, nah. If they got like that 1 inch thick toenail, girl, you better keep that away from my mouth. I might kiss your ankle or something, but that's about it. Anyways, because that's not even what we're talking about.
We're like we've gone past left field. We're like out near Saturn somewhere.
Right.
Anyway, Hardy's and Sheamus and Cesaro segment. Hardys are happy to be back. This segment was whatever. I don't really.
It was a little bland. I did like the fact that towards the end of Matt speaking, he started going broken. His words became more dramatic.
Yeah. And
so that's nice to see that he still throws that in, especially since WWE's fighting for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just bland. I mean, it was face talking nice to face.
Right. Which is the most boring thing in the world, and it's completely missable. Sheamus and Cesaro were fanboying over the Hardys, basically, and then Sheamus came back to reality and said they can't wait to take the titles from him. Blah, 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 blah. Next segment.
Moving on.
Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Nia Jax. Now, is it bad that I was actually looking forward to this match the most on Raw? I actually wanted to see this match more than
It is bad. You know why?
Anything on Raw.
Because the only reason why you were looking forward to it was because of Alexa Bliss.
No, it's Alexa Bliss. Like I said, the only person I like more than Alexa Bliss is now that they seem like they want to do something with Lana. So that'll be great too. But no, it wasn't just because of Alexa Bliss. I was actually interested. Here's the thing. Generally, you know what's going to happen with the men. You know who they have a boner for.
Yeah.
It's a lot more unpredictable with the women.
And it is.
So I mean that's why I was looking forward to this match. To be honest.
Okay, I'll make that as a 50-50. Half of it Alexa, half of it the guessing.
I took the most notes on this match. I'll say that. So maybe Alexa had something to do with that.
Yeah, maybe she caught your eye.
So anyway, we got the start of this. Nia begins by dominating as she should.
Yep.
Alexa Bliss is actively avoiding Nia, which I found to be hilarious.
Oh, she's good at being that 5 feet of fury.
And it's hilarious to watch the size difference between, because she's probably legit 5 feet tall.
Oh yeah.
And Nia is like what 5'10", 5'11", so
yeah, she's.
There was another thing later in the match that had me laughing too. Bayley's watching from backstage. I like that the way that they actually, the psychology of this match, I actually dug a lot. Sasha, Alexa, and Mickey would take turns getting near falls once Nia would run herself out of the match because she's less experienced than everyone else in the match. I thought that was a good way to book Nia, because Nia, when she was in the ring, was dominant.
Yeah.
But she would always do something, that would chalk up to inexperience or her just being whatever, and it would knock her out of the match. And that was the theme of this match. I actually liked that psychology. It was a good way to keep Nia strong, but not beat her at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a point where Mickey gets Nia in an armbar, which was decent. Alexa Bliss at one point, this was having down. Alexa Bliss at one point was on the top row, and Nia turned around and she just kind of stood there and stared and just like, nope, not doing that. And got off the top row.
I'm gonna get down, get off the ring. I'm gonna go sit over here by some fans, take a selfie.
Right, anything but mess with this chick.
That's right. She looks hungry,
and I'm just the right size to be eating. That's
get in my belly.
Nia then ran herself into the post shoulder first, which again knocked her out of the match. We had Bliss go for a pinfall. I believe it was on Sasha Banks. Then Mickey goes for the Mickey T on Alexa, and Sasha breaks that up. Again, this is them all three going at it while Nia's on the. I love that psychology. There came a point where Mickey got tossed out. No, Mickey got tossed into Nia, and then this allowed for Sasha and Alexa to go at it for a while.
Yeah.
Alexa had a point in there where she grabbed the back of Sasha's head and screamed in her face, "This is my division now," which I thought was awesome. We had
well, they all kind of took turns doing that.
Yeah.
At first it was Sasha, and then it was Mickey. Or no, it was Mickey, then it was Sasha, and then it was Alexa, and then it was Nia whenever she caught Sasha in the Samoan drop.
Right.
She was like, "This is my division." Bam!
She immediately, after Alexa said that, she immediately got hit. Like, within 3 seconds was in the bank statement, which was hilarious, too.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey broke that up. And then Alexa gets outside the ring. We got Mickey and Sasha going at it. And all of a sudden, Nia comes back into the ring. She knocks Nikki, who at this point is standing on the top rope or out on the ring apron. She knocks her out to the floor. Hits the Samoan drop.
She knocks her out onto the floor.
And she took a big bump.
Sasha. She used Sasha like a battering ram.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, that shit... Nia, no matter how green you are, you do look dominant.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, she kind of has no choice being that. I mean, she's literally 3 times the size of her.
Oh, yeah.
So, at this point, we have Nia going for the Samoan drop on Sasha Banks. She hits it. She goes to roll over into the pin, only to eat a drop kick from Alexa, who then rolls into the cover, and we have the new #1 contender for the Raw Women's title, Alexa Bliss. Very good match, in my opinion. I thought it was, like I said, another note I put, great use of Nia.
Yep.
And I compared it to... in sports, when you have a young team that has potential for greatness, the Oklahoma City was this team a few years ago when they played the Miami Heat. Oklahoma was very young. They had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant all on the same team. Tons of talent. They were just too young. They had no idea how to win. So they ended up losing to the more experienced team in the Miami Heat at the time. That's kind of what it made it look like here with Nia, where Nia has all the potential in the world to be as dominant as whoever, but she couldn't put it all. Yeah, she couldn't put it all together in this match because of an experience issue. So I really like that psychology.
Oh yeah, great match.
Probably the best match on the show, to be honest.
Yeah.
We get another big.
I don't know. This next match coming up, I got a few facts about it.
We got another a Big Show segment, and I missed most of it, but I know he said he'll handle Braun giant style.
Yeah, that's giant size beatdown.
Okay.
He's about to get a giant size beatdown. Braun may be big, but he's not giant sized.
Yeah, same Big Show promo we've been hearing for 20 years. Anyway, we get Kurt Hawkins out next. Woo! Kurt says the path to the main event goes through him.
And that's just a fact, baby.
And I guess it is, because the Big Show punched him in the face last week, and he's in the main event this week.
There you go.
And so those two things must be connected. Hawkins asked who wants to join the Star Factor. Is that what he actually said?
Yeah.
The Star Factory, excuse me.
Yep.
What? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah.
He's cringe. Anyway.
He is. And that's a fact, sir.
Finn Balor's music hits, and he comes out, and I put down that this was a complete showcase for Balor, as it should be. And after watching it again earlier today, Kurt Hawkins did not land a single move of offense, and I put that if there were any... Here's the thing, if Balor was hurt enough to be diagnosed with a concussion, but not hurt enough to be held out of action this week, I put it was a smart way to book Finn. If he's going to be completely good by next week, he just can't take any direct hits to his head. Yeah. So I thought it was smart to book him this way. And I mean, come on, who expects anything from Kurt Hawkins at this point? No, that's another guy that's. I'm sure he's regretting the decision to re-sign the contract.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's just a fact. Sorry, Kurt. Every time I come to one of your segments, I'm calling out the facts.
Kurt Hawkins, the Glass Joe of WWE.
Face the facts.
Look that one up, youngins. Listen to this.
It's crazy. But yeah, so moving on from Stankins.
We got a Chris Jericho promo.
Yeah. All about the rematch with KO. Mm-hmm. He's focused on it. Not really too focused about Joe. He was distracted. That's why he lost.
Yeah, that was his excuse for losing to Joe. Which, I mean, hey, skim over it all you want. I don't mind that.
Prissy. I mean, he's just being prissy, Chris.
He went over his usual sticks here. He was going to put Tom or whatever the guy's. I don't even know what that guy's name is. Is his name Mike?
His name's Mike.
He's going to put Mike on the list for not knowing what his name is.
Yep.
And he did the Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny.
Duck season, rabbit season.
Right.
And it worked.
And then for some reason, the Drifter wandered through there playing his goofy guitar. And he actually got Mike or Tom or whatever the hell his name is off the hook.
Yeah, and I liked the insults that Chris darted out right there because...
For the Drifter?
Yes. My favorite one was the strange strumming straggler.
Now, my question is, is this going to lead to a match between the Drifter and Jericho? I mean, what was the point of that?
No. He's drifting, bro.
I mean, I understand that, but he eventually has to get in the ring, doesn't he? Or is he going to do this the entirety of his contract, just wander around?
Eva Marie would... I have some dumb dogs. Ginger, what the hell are you doing?
They were... he was supposedly wandering throughout the crowd last week, right?
Yeah, he was. Did I not call that out? No, we called out the one where he was drifting behind the...
Yeah, but apparently they weren't showing him just wandering through the crowd.
That's the thing. He's drifting at this moment. He's not... It's not for any match with some certain person. He's just wandering around and, he's in this camera. He's in this camera. What are they gonna do? I hope to God you don't give him a microphone to sing.
They will.
If he sings... he will be off my screen.
No, he'll get nuclear heat is what he'll get. And he'll fulfill his destiny of being Kurt Hawkins version 2.
Kurt Hawkins! 2.0! Face the facts!
You know damn well that guy's not getting any wins on the main roster.
Who, the Drifter?
No.
Well, if they're allowing him to do this crap, maybe... Vince sees something in him because he is buff.
Yeah, he'll get pushed for like 3 weeks.
Okay, but that's still a push that some people don't get. Kurt Hawkins didn't get that push.
Dude, who was it? what is the guy's name? I can't even remember his name because they don't use him right. Fucking
Rob Van Dam?
no. What the hell's his name? Bray's brother.
Oh,
Bo. They pushed Bo for like 2 weeks, 2 months ago for no reason. They fucking just
did they?
Yes. They stop people for no reason. He was coming out beating local talent.
Oh, well, that's not really a push.
That's what they're gonna do with Drifter, though.
That's dumb.
And then he'll be losing.
Drift off my screen.
He'll be losing.
Drifter.
He'll be losing to Kurt Hawkins on main event in 6 months, no, 3 months.
Hey, Kurt, that's just good for you, Ginger. No,
and those are the facts.
You lay down. Those are the facts. Those are the facts, Kurt. And by the way, Ginger is my dog because you probably heard me talking about she's weird, so I have to call her out on some shit from time to time.
Next we have a Bray Wyatt promo, which put me to sleep.
Yes.
Typical Bray. Not that it wasn't good. It's always good, but they're all. I'm so done with the Randy Orton feud for a few reasons. The match was the worst on the WrestleMania card, for one. Secondly, this is all bullshit. It's all hollow. There's a 0% chance that Bray Wyatt wins the WWE title. I think it's kind of pointless to even have this match. But they're going to do it. I don't give a shit. Bray's not been on either show since this shit started, has he?
No. I think he injured himself is what really I think. I don't think they're going to announce it, but I think like he might have sprained his thumb again or something. Because, that's what they kept him off for a while for.
I love Bray, but they seem to have him doing... Anytime they can go... If they have two directions going, one's right and one's wrong, they always pick wrong.
He's the boogeyman!
They have picked wrong for 4 fucking years. When have they done something? The only right thing they've done with Bray is putting the WWE title on him, and then he just lost it.
He's the boogeyman with a little bit more je ne sais quoi. That's it.
Oh my goodness. And he could be so much more than
my exact notes on this promo were Bray promo. I'm bored. Get match over already. That's all I wrote. I didn't care about the promo. I didn't care about the stupid House of Horrors because you're not saying anything about it. You're not giving any description of what this match is going to be. I could understand if you just...
I can tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be another lackluster match that's going to...
Well, is there going to be stipulations? Or is it just going to be, we're going to project maggots and worms all across...
And hamburger helper.
Woo! No, sorry. Please.
No, apparently they had a poll on WWE.com or either earlier this week or last week. And it said, what would you like in the House of Horror match? Which what tells me is that they don't even know what to do with the match yet.
I don't know. His booty.
So anyway.
Anyways, let's move on because we're already at like an hour and a half.
0% chance Bray wins this match. So anyway, we got Dana Brooke, Emma, and Alicia Fox. In a segment. Emma lies on Dana Brooke to Alicia for no reason. Makes Alicia mad. Emma and Dana feud inbound. I'm still not convinced that Dana Brooke can be cheered, but they're going to try. I didn't care. Don't even care.
No notes. Didn't care. I just kind of yawn, go pee at this moment. It's whenever I go grab my popcorn.
How infuriating must this be for Emma, though, because she's wanted to get back in the ring. And she's been in like 4 promos and like she was in one match.
Yeah, she was in that tag team match.
Right, but I know she wants to do more than set up stupid storylines. And then you put her first feud back is going to be with Dana Brooke, who can't wrestle.
Well, they wasted a whole bunch of time with the whole Emmalina bullshit just for her to come out and go, I have gone from Emma to Emmalina, and now I go back to Emma.
Well, again, that goes to what I said earlier about Roman Reigns, where they've sacrificed other people's pushes to make sure that he gets over. They did that with the women too. They sacrificed. I mean, look what they did to Nia initially when she got up because they were so focused on Sasha and Charlotte.
Yeah,
Nia was off TV for like 2 months, no injury. They just were fucking focused on Sasha and Charlotte.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have done any good for him to get back at that point anyway. But still, My first feedback, you're gonna put me with somebody that can't wrestle and might, in all likelihood, injure me again.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately. But let's move on from them because it was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was whack. Hopefully, better things for Emma in the future.
I really do hope so.
Anyway, we got Jeff Hardy and Cesaro. This match, I know you're a fan of everything they do right now. This match bored the shit out of me.
I mean, I'm a fan of the Hardys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say this.
They gave this a while too.
Oh yeah, they did. Let's see. What did I write down about it? I said Jeff and Matt come out, of course, to a big pop. They still do the whole. He throws up his version 1 thing, and then his arms come out, and he gets that big old just top teeth smile going.
Right.
And then he does the delete thing, and I'm digging that. Truthfully, I didn't write too much down on the match because, as you said,
It was a long, boring match.
it really was. And I can be honest to that, but that's WWE trying to push something that
I don't blame the two people in the match. I really blame that they don't really try that hard on Raw. Just because a match goes a decent amount of time doesn't mean that
exactly
it's a good match.
The few things I did call out, possibly the kayfabe bad leg by Jeff, limping around and stuff. Of course, Cesaro with that huge uppercut running like 2 sides of the fucking ring just to uppercut Jeff on
which I think was the whole reason that the whole leg injury thing was a thing, because I think they wanted him out of the ring so they would have a reason to go make him fucking get to top speed and uppercut his head off.
That's fine. I mean, the few pop moves that they did, I did enjoy, but as far as the whole match, it wasn't that great. Cesaro looked to have done his homework, putting like Jeff's foot down whenever he was going to do that back drop kick thing that he does, the spinning back kick, and he was like, "Nah, I already know what you're going to do. Let me just put your ass foot down. I'll just go back." I liked that part of it. It showed that homework is being done, that you don't have just 2 brawlers, but they're actually thinking about the match coming ahead.
Jeff did hit his goofy twist of fate in this match that I don't like.
The twist of stunner?
Yeah. I fucking hate that move.
Yeah. Truthfully, the only thing that sold that is Cesaro. I
want to listen to Austin's podcast and see if he says anything about that, because he gets pissed when people use the stunner and they don't pin people with it.
Yeah.
Like he was ripping John Cena when he was doing that hideous thing he was trying to do.
The bounce off the rope.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Thank God he stopped doing that.
But took down. Matt was still doing his broken gimmick outside of the ring from time to time.
Yeah.
It was a decent back and forth between them. One would go, the other would go, but it wasn't anything spectacular. We got Twist of Fate into the Swanton, and then good show of sportsmanship afterwards. I like how Matt is like protective of Jeff at first, and Cesaro's trying to do the same thing after he sees Matt doing it, and they shake hands and go their separate ways. It's how a face-to-face match should end.
Yeah, it was boring as shit.
It was. But I mean, as far as storytelling goes,
we're counting down until broken Matt's here at this point.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
I think they're trying to just do what they can.
I'm keeping the hype alive for them because I know it's there.
Yeah.
And I know it's coming, and I don't want people to give up on them. I don't want them to become the Dudleys.
They're not going to yet. I think I would like to see them actually keep the belts on the Hardys until they get the rights to the broken shit, and then they would like lose the belt, and that be the cause, because you have to reintroduce this whole thing to an audience that may not have seen them before.
Yeah.
I would like that to be the cause of Matt Hardy being broken this time,
and that would be great with me. I'd love that. But let's move on from the Hardy Boys.
All right, we got the Hardys, and now we go to the main event.
Braun versus Big Show.
Like I said earlier, I did not want to see this match because I knew they weren't going to be better than it was the first time I saw it. And I was right. There were a few good things about this match. I'm not going to make it seem like it was the shits. But I knew it wasn't going to be as good. And it was longer. And it wasn't as good. There were a few bright spots. We got some roll throughs from Braun. We got some nip ups from Braun. We did a botched arm drag. I don't know if you saw that one.
2.
Was it 2?
2 arm drags.
Okay, I must have missed the second one. I thought he fucking fucked up Big Show's arm on one of them.
Oh yeah.
But Braun, again, crazy agility. We saw Braun drop kick on the Big Show.
Big Show did a baseball slide to Braun.
Yeah, he did do the baseball
nice.
slide. I didn't see that in the second match because I was trying to just get the highlights. But yeah, I do remember that now. You said that.
Let's see. What did I have? Braun rushed the Big Show. Big Show coming out. Braun rushes him.
Yeah.
So it starts to shit up early. They both throw each other around. One goes into the wall. One goes into the stairs. Then into the wall. Then they get in. Get the match going. Let's see. You got the kip up from Braun. Big Show power slams Braun, picks him up just like Hogan did Andre.
The power slam Braun hit on Big Show though, he got him up. You know, he struggled last time.
Oh yeah,
he got him up very easily.
Oh
this
yeah,
time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Braun suplexed the Big Show.
Yeah, yes he did.
That was intense. I did not, and it wasn't just one of those like snap suplexes where it's just Big Show rolling through. It was full upright extension all the way through. So I was very impressed with that because that's a big thing to do. I did have this side note because the camera was zoomed in on Braun at that moment where he was yelling like, "Yeah, I'm fucking strong." He has a tattoo. I think it's Tennessee, but it says "Country Strong."
Does it? I've never noticed that.
I'm like, yep, that is one corn-fed motherfucker.
Well, if you couldn't hear it in his accent.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got choke slam goes to Braun. He kicks out. Power slam to the Big Show. Kicks out.
WMD to Strowman.
Exactly, from off the top rope. He's jumping off the top rope and gets punched. They try the top. They both go up to the top rope twice before the actual end of the match.
They teased it for a while.
Oh yeah, and that's whenever Braun goes up and he jumps down and gets KO punched. Still kicks out, which is nice. You're making a monster, make him a monster. Make him kick out of the Big Show's KO punch. Not many people do that.
Right.
Let's see. Big Show goes up to top rope. Braun rushes him like Angle used to rush people. I mean, he was up them ropes fast. And that's whenever it just goes exploding from there. Big old superplex.
What'd you think about that?
I mean, yeah, it's been done, but if you didn't do it, it would be disappointing.
I think it's been done, and I say that having seen it maybe 4 or 5 times. But
it has, but it has never been done with the opponent standing above the Big Show. Yeah. No, Brock Lesnar never did it. Nobody did.
I don't know. The only thing I found that was new about that one was, did you see the bump the ref took? I found that shit hilarious.
Where he fucking like span,
because
like, spun out of the ring.
I think he was like hoping the ropes would like catch a little bit of that.
Yep, and then they just disappeared and he just rolled.
The ropes were already gone, so he just fucking face planted out to the floor, which is hilarious. And you actually saw them.
Oh yeah,
they had to go check on him because they weren't sure.
You saw the referee in the back like throwing his fist up like, dude, we need somebody over here. This dude, and maybe that's how he died. But yeah, Braun walks off. Everyone will fall, and it's nice. It's nice to see Braun going out.
This was Braun's show in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, this was the up and coming Braun show.
So I dig that much of it. I don't know. Raw was. What would you give Raw for a rating? 1 out of 10.
Maybe a 6.
6. Let's say 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was entertaining with some of the matches. Others of the matches were just kind of, you knew it was filler, you knew it was kind of sucky.
Yeah.
The segments were kind of boring.
The stuff I liked, though, I really liked the one.
Oh, yeah. Whenever it was good, it was good.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't good, it really wasn't much. And that's just the unfortunate part of that.
I'll go 6.5 since you went 6. I'll be a little nicer, even though a lot of the things on this show, the stuff I didn't like on the show was awful.
Yeah. So we move on to SmackDown. SmackDown starts with Charlotte coming out, whining about how she doesn't have her championship opportunity yet.
Rightfully so.
And blah, 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 which to me is just whining. Yes, she
has a point, though.
She has a point, and she did prove it later on that night. But I'm sorry, it's SmackDown. It's not Raw. just because of my name or my status, you don't give me a match. It's you come in and you earn it. Doesn't matter who you are. AJ Styles has to come in and earn everything he's got.
But she will earn it, and she
did earn it.
She's better than all those other people.
She is, but again, when you come out whining, I'm going to call it whining because that's what you're doing.
But see, when you've been as good as she's been, I think you do deserve it. But that's just weird.
It's still whining.
It's whining, but it's justified whining.
Okay, but it's justified whining. It's still whining.
It's still.
I mean, and that's fine because Naomi cuts in, talking her crap to Charlotte. I'm the champion. You don't just get to come on here and say that you're going to get your title match. How we do things here is you fight for it. But if you want the title match, let's do it right now. So Naomi is not going to back down. She shows that I'm champion, so I'm going to represent it like I'm a champion. And Shane interferes, cuts in at least, makes number one contenders match. They both have their shots on each other. One takes the other down, the other takes the other down. Naomi ends up on top. Charlotte thrown out of the ring. But we'll see in the match later on that things aren't always how they turn out in the beginning. After that, I've got... that's whenever it goes to the backstage segment with Natalya. Shane walks in, and she's all griping about how Charlotte gets her title match. And that's not fair because she just got here, and Shane's like, well, she asked.
Yes, and you're a ratings killer. So.
Exactly. So, I mean, what do you expect? And not only that, but you had an opportunity at WrestleMania, and you failed. So, what's going on? And then Carmella and James Ellsworth, who I hear Becky Lynch wants a match with.
Like, legitimately?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
But
where was she on the show? Was she actually on the show?
I didn't see her on the show.
Okay.
I didn't see her at all.
I thought maybe I'd missed her.
But,
for those listening at home, I didn't catch as much as Smackdown as my co-host, so he's going to lead us through this.
But yeah, I mean, we had Carmella and Tamina butt in as well, talking about how they deserve it. And then Shane's like, well, no, none of y'all deserve it. Charlotte's already fighting for it, and we'll see if she's going to be number one contender later.
I love how Tamina deserved it, but I forgot she was employed until they brought her out last week.
Well, her dad died.
I understand that, but I think she's also been hurt. I heard she had a knee replaced or something. Or not replaced, but reconstructed.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but yeah, I forgot she was employed for the longest.
I don't keep up on Tamina news, so unfortunately.
It was attached to other news I was getting at the time. That's the only reason I know about that.
Gotcha. But yeah, so Natalya ends it with they're going to go have a discussion and get a plan together. So 3 girls and James walk out, and
so 4 girls.
Yeah, 4 girls, and that's the end of that. Then we go on to the 6-pack challenge. We got Luke Harper versus Rowan versus Jinder Mahal versus Sami Zayn.
Jinder my balls.
We got Mojo Rawley and Dolph Ziggler. And it's a number one contenders match. Me personally, going into the match, I thought Mojo Rawley was a favorite.
See, I don't ever consider him a favorite. I know they like him, but
well,
here's the thing. In hindsight now, knowing what they actually did, they could have easily done it with Mojo because I didn't think that they would go in the direction that they did go in. But reading about that, I know why they went that way. Now whether they'll stay on that path is different.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I thought this was probably going to Sami Zayn, but I wrote that I wanted this to go to Luke Harper.
Yes.
I thought Luke Harper.
I would have rather Luke Harper, but I, again, have no faith really in WWE. And looking back at my pick, Mojo Rawley, I have no faith that they would have done that anyways either, because he won the Andre the Giant Battle whatever.
Right.
Too much. Too many words.
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, there you go. And for every single person who won, they did absolutely nothing with.
AKA, let's get the rest of the roster that we don't have any plans for on the show so they can get a paycheck.
Exactly. And so, unfortunately, Mojo, I should have seen that coming. My bad. But so we have that match. I mean, it's decent back and forth match. You get Luke Harper doing some dives. You get Sami Zayn doing some dives. You get
too many dives. I'm not a fan of all the dives.
Who was it? I think it was. Yeah, it was Dolph. It was Dolph that was about to go for a dive and ran into a brutal ass roundhouse kick from Rowan. I mean, just cleaned his ever loving clock. I was like, I don't think he realized dude was that close, and he caught him in the face completely flush. Granted, it's big old man thigh, so it probably didn't hurt as bad as Jinder's forearm, but
also, and Dolph is, say what you want about Dolph. Dolph is great at making moves
look good,
devastating.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, even if it brushed him, Dolph would probably sell it like he just got shot.
They had "This Is Awesome" chants. Jinder, to me, wasn't the best looking person in the match.
He's not.
But
that has nothing to do with why they. You know why they're doing this, right? Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
We'll get to that.
But as the end of the match is coming up, Sami Zayn looks to be a winner, getting ready for his haluva kick, and the Bollywood Boys, or the Singh Brothers,
as they've been rechristened because they have to be WWE guys if they're going to be on the main roster.
They hold Sami Zayn's feet. He gets distracted. It's like, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all aren't even on a main roster. And as he turns around, no, he doesn't even turn around. He backs it into Jinder, hitting him with the Dream Street.
That's what it looked like.
I have no clue what he calls it.
Nope.
Raja.
Do you want to know why? You have no idea what he calls it. Because before he became the number one contender for the WWE title,
he
didn't win a match. Name your favorite, most memorable Jinder Mahal win. Don't worry, I'll wait. You actually want to know something I read? They said the last match that he had won before that match
was with three-man band?
No. It was a singles match against El Torito like 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
On SmackDown. That was the last match on SmackDown he won.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, that was the last match on SmackDown he competed in. The last match he won before that, I want to say, was in like 2010.
In NXT or something like that.
Or something stupid like that. Yeah. Like, it was so long. It's like, this dude, how am I supposed to... You know what it actually does? It makes SmackDown's depth look bad. It makes the WWE title by what is the word I'm looking for here? By relation to the situation look worse.
Oh yeah.
Because this guy, you've conditioned the audience to think of this guy as navel lint for the last however many. I mean, Jinder Mahal's been around for a while. Jinder Mahal got introduced when the Great Khali was still a thing.
Yeah, he was the guy who was beating up the Khali.
Right. He was the guy that got introduced to make, when they wanted to turn Khali heel when he was doing the fucking Playboy shit.
Yeah.
When it was Ranjan Singh was his translator, right?
Yeah.
They were he was the guy that got introduced to, make Khali do bad things because Jinder Mahal supposedly had bad, compromising information on the Great Khali. That's how the Great Khali hasn't been relevant in years, in close to 10 years. He was on the roster for much longer than that, but I mean, he was irrelevant. He was a parody of his former self. But he was around when Great Khali was still kind of somewhat relevant, and he wasn't, dancing, and they kept microphones out of the Great Khali's hands, which is for the betterment of everyone. I think your IQ goes down a certain amount of points listening to the Great Khali speak. But these things, so he's been around for a long time, and for most of that time, Jinder Mahal has been someone to be, mocked, to be made fun of, 3MB. 3MB was literally, someone in the back thought this was funny to put three guys together and call them a three-man band,
Vince
and none of them played any instruments.
No, Vince thought it was funny because Heath Slater was supposed to be this godsend at some point in time. Heath was supposed to have this big push from NXT. and Vince didn't see it.
No.
So you had this rocker dude who would come out playing air guitar, and you know what Vince was doing. He was like, oh, well, we also have Drew McIntyre, who I have nothing else to do with, and Jinder, who I have nothing else to do with, and they're pretty much looking like this other goof I got over here. Let's just throw them together, and hey, since he plays the air guitar, we'll have one do drums and the other do something else. I don't even care. Give him a tambourine. It's an air tambourine. There we go. And, I mean, it was just garbage. And now he's #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
And sharing a ring later that segment with Randy Orton.
Who it did nothing for. He was just there. He was a footnote.
And here's the thing, right? And this is not a slight on Jinder. I know it sounds like we're shitting on Jinder. Jinder by all means could knock this opportunity out of their park. But you cannot do this. You cannot take a crap on someone for years and years and years and beat them down and have the audience think of them a certain way and then go, oh, we're gonna, we want you to like this guy now, and expect them to embrace him as, the next coming of something great when they're supposed to just forget the years and years. It's like Men in Black, right? Like Vince wants the flashy thing. Everyone that's seen anything that Jinder Mahal has done before Smackdown last week. That's literally how this is going to go.
Well,
and Jinder has a good look. He's decent in the ring. It's not about Jinder personally, but it's about their booking decisions, and it's always about their booking decisions. But the booking of this is garbage. It's fucking trash, and I hate when they do shit like this. And then when you read why they're doing this, because they're all of a sudden they're now gung ho on making the Indian market a big thing.
Yeah.
So because that's happened, the same reason why they put the belt on Khali, which was one of the worst decisions ever. And I actually think Dave Bautista said at the time when he was interviewed about this, what do you think of the great Khali, being a former world champion? And he said he wanted to vomit. When they make decisions like this,
well, I mean, it's like
it's stupid.
Who was the giant?
I mean, it's smart business-wise, but it's stupid.
The giant
Gonzalez, yeah.
Gonzalez,
the failed basketball player,
right? Did the monkey costume he came out in was atrocious,
right?
And then the WrestleMania match he had against the Undertaker was atrocious. They try things with people so big that their joints look like it aches for them to walk. Khali's walk would make my knees ache.
His walk was terrible before. I mean, his walk was terrible when he first got there, and it just got worse and worse over the years.
His falls were terrible.
Oh yeah.
His getting up was terrible. His entering the ring was terrible.
His being a professional wrestler was a terrible idea.
The only thing that I've ever seen Khali good in was The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
That was it.
And actually seeing him on live TV and seeing how much botching he did, it also made me question, as good as he looked in that movie,
how much was a retake?
How many takes did they have to do to get this shit right?
Khali playing ping pong, take 115. Dude, you're just bouncing it off of the fucking wall in front of you. It's all you have to do. Okay. Kink, kink. You're supposed to hit it again, Khali. Okay.
You remember the old Christmas stuff? Fucking, oh my gosh. Oh God.
Alright, so we move on from Jinder Mahal.
But yes, the Jinder Mahal, the booking of that shit, I just will never. I'm willing to give Jinder a shot as a main eventer, and look, back in the day, I was willing to give John Bradshaw Layfield a shot after being a mid-card tag team guy for the majority of the time that I saw him. I was willing to give it a shot. I'm not against Jinder Mahal. I just wish that they would not do shit like this in general. And if you're going to do this, right, don't lose faith in Jinder in 3 months and having him do the equivalent of the 3 and B shit. If Jinder's going to be a main eventer, keep pushing him as a main eventer. He should beat people. He shouldn't be pushed until Vince sours on the idea, and then he's right back to the bottom of the card again.
I'm gonna say this now, and this is only how I see it. I see Jinder beating Randy Orton, winning WWE Championship. Sami Zayn beats Jinder. Baron Corbin beats Sami.
I can see that.
That's the path they're gonna go. So it has been written, so it shall be.
I could actually see that happen in that sequence, because you know they don't want Orton getting beat by Sami Zayn
the person who they made a mockery of on Raw. No, fuck no. But I could see them getting Jinder beat by Sami,
right?
And then to give Baron that extra push, why not beat the underdog from the underground?
Because I could easily see Sami Zayn beat Baron Corbin's bitch the entire time he's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, definitely. But so we get through with that. There was the Randy Orton comes out, Bray Wyatt cuts his promo as well, and I was hoping Jinder Mahal would hit Randy with that Dream Streak, but he didn't. He just disappeared. And to me, that was not a good look for Jinder already. But anyway,
it's the little things, and they're already fucking that up.
Oh yeah. But we go backstage to AJ Styles, talking about how he is the face that runs the place and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, much respect to AJ, love him a lot, but that segment was kind of boring. Baron came in, beat Boops, beat some more Boops.
Baron Corbin.
You didn't even beat me.
Do you like my tattoo?
You beat Sami Zayn.
Do you like my other tattoo?
You didn't pin me.
Do you like my other tattoo?
You pinned Sami Zayn. And then, of course, we get a match. Baron, you gotta work on your words. Come on now. Come on, son. Come on.
Dude, just say this shit in the mirror like 50 times until it starts to sound like you actually speaking.
Scare yourself.
He looks like he reads his lines right before they go in once.
Oh yeah. And then he pushes off like the note card person that holds up his cues for what he needs to say. He's like, I got this. And then he gets up there and he's like, I'm gonna say this. And the whole time he's like leaning in and out.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's like he has ADD or something.
It's nerves. It's absolutely nerves.
It is.
You gotta work through that.
Be more confident, bro. You are a big, badass dude. Be confident in yourself, and you got this. That's all you gotta do. Just be confident.
Well, here's the thing. Be confident. It's not gonna get on. The only way you're gonna get confident is the reference experiences of knowing that, doing it and getting that reference experience that, the world doesn't end if I fuck up. And once you do that, you'll settle into doing it. But dude, you've been on TV now for over a year. You should not be that nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. But let's see. We go into Charlotte Naomi match. On the way to the ring, Charlotte bumps into Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina. She walks through them, and Natalya gives her a good old shoulder thrust. Like, what you gonna do about that, bitch? And Charlotte just kind of walks away. And then we get our match with Naomi and Charlotte.
I got a question.
Yo.
You think there's any, and this is not me hearing anything, or just is me spitballing. Do you think there's actually any legitimate heat from someone like Natalya, who's been around for 10 years at this point, at least?
If there's not, I would be surprised.
And Charlotte has accomplished twice as much as her in a quarter of a time?
I mean, I would think there would be plenty of heat. As a person, as someone who exists, yeah. I mean, I would be kind of pissed.
I'm just wondering about
I get pissed off at that type of shit in my career. I could imagine, because you got to have some sort of an ego to being a wrestler.
Right.
And to be passed over and to constantly call yourself the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, like your uncle. I mean, you got to have some sort of an ego, and to have somebody who's green like Charlotte.
Oh, she's far from green.
And I don't mean that as in right now she's green. She is a good professional wrestler.
I think she's
great.
But
compared to Natalya and just career lengths, it's more green.
Oh, yeah. We're just talking about...
Yeah.
And that's
in retrospective. And I'm not talking about actual.
And here's the thing. Like, I don't really find Natalya... Because I know how they think. I don't really find Natalya attractive. Like, that attractive.
Yeah.
But I don't find Charlotte that attractive either. I mean, I think she's more attractive than Natalya, but I don't think she's just this blonde bombshell.
No.
I look at Charlotte and I see more athlete than anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. By all means. I mean, she's got a pretty face, but she's got a body of Natalya almost. It's just she's a little bit taller.
So if I'm looking at if I'm Natalya, I'm going, well, fuck. What does it take? I have a dad that was in the business. He wasn't Ric Flair, but he was in the business. So I have all the wrestling skill, as much if not more than her. What the fuck does it take?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I don't know how that some people like that don't have heat.
Or maybe with Natalya it's just complacency.
Or look at this. Or it could be one of those things like The Undertaker, where a lot of people look at Natalya as this like mother hen type figure of the divas. These are the women, whatever you want to call them, these days. So maybe it's more of a respect thing for her. I mean, because Undertaker didn't have 15, 16 title reigns. He had like 7.
Yeah.
So it was never really about world championship reigns with him. It was about the respect from the boys. And maybe it's like that with her, where she just wants to be respected. I don't know, but
truthfully, she hasn't won a single title.
She had the Divas title 100 years ago, right?
I meant a single women's title.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't include the Divas title really in that big of a category.
And here's the thing, I'm not saying this because I want her to win one. I'm just because anytime she's had a title, I just count the seconds until she doesn't have it. To be honest, put it this way: when Charlotte had the Divas title for 9 months before they introduced the women's title.
Yeah.
It got a little bit old, but I could look at Charlotte and go, yeah, I can see why I had the belt on her. It was never like that with the title, really. Like, I was just like, okay, well, they put the belt on her. Who's going to beat her? Because somebody's going to beat her soon.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know.
But, yeah, then we had the match with Naomi and Charlotte. It was a good back-and-forth match. Charlotte did her homework. Pretty much, I mean, it just gets to the end of the match. There wasn't no real high moments, like high moves or anything like that. It was just a good, like, grounded match. Mm-hmm. And Naomi goes for the rear view. Charlotte knew it was coming, kicked her in the back while she's in the air, and hits her with natural selection. Game over. Naomi, at the end of it, to me, she looked a little scared.
She looked a little dejected, a little bit like her confidence bubble got burst there a little bit.
Yeah. Charlotte looked strong, and if Charlotte doesn't beat Naomi, I will be a little shocked, but...
Also, when Charlotte came out at the beginning of the show, Charlotte, when she actually lets herself smile, because she has this, like, stock bitchy face that she puts on. When she lets herself smile, she doesn't look half bad.
No.
So, but she doesn't ever let herself do that. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but...
I had the same look. Every time she did that, I would sit, like, that whole entrance, I was like, and she looks cute. But, after the match, she's walking past the girls in the back, and she kind of, like, flutters her hair and winks at them, and then as she gets off camera, she's like, woo! And you can clearly see that the other 3 women are kind of peeved by it, but there's not much they can do.
Nope.
She is the number 1 contender, and sorry, bitches.
Go beat her in the match.
Exactly. Next, I have the Colons.
The Colons?
The Colons, as
Johnny Nitro used to say?
Yeah, I was going to say John that Morton. Too, but whatever. The versus American Alpha. It sucks American Alpha is losing their pop because they didn't really have much coming out.
Yeah, that was a 3-minute match.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that short, but I was watching a video earlier where they were talking about the match. The match went 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
It is. And,
especially on Smackdown, that's unacceptable.
And it ended with... And The Colognes, the Colons, the Colonels, whatever you want to call them, the Shining Stars of Assdom, botched the end. You could have looked like Lie, Cheat, and Steal, but you botched the end. The little kick to the face for the roll-up pin was really ugly. Really ugly.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I don't think that they. You said they could be lie, steal, and cheat. Like, I don't think that they know what they're doing right now.
And that's the problem.
I mean, and it's not. I don't think it's their fault though. I think that's what they. I mean, they still had the Shining Stars gear on, and they're not even being called that anymore.
I know.
That should tell you how.
And that's the problem.
They're not getting marching orders correctly.
No.
I don't know, man.
They could be the Lie, Cheat, and Steal, but they can't. Because WWE,
they're not as charismatic as Eddie was.
No,
they
and that's the problem. They're trying for that. That's what they're shooting. They're
trying for anything. They don't even know what nothing they've done with them. I mean, the bull didn't work. They were actually something before the bull that didn't work.
Yeah.
The fucking Shining Stars, the travel agents didn't work.
Not at all.
Hopefully. I mean,
no one traveled with them. No. Like, it was too expensive. They were like, I'll just go United Airlines.
Look at that fucking gimmick though. Who thought that was gonna get over? We're travel agents and all we do is talk about another country every week.
Yeah.
That's gonna work?
Come to Puerto Rico. It's like, no, I'm good.
What else do I say?
We're actually building a wall right now. So you're not going to be like allowed in. This is going to be boys only.
Who writes this shit though?
I
don't know how they come up with these gimmicks that they know.
Dude, you can hire us. I could go on a drunken stupor and probably write some more stuff that is better than what I'm watching.
It's not the writers that are bad. It's just that Vince doesn't listen to. I mean, you're gonna hire people from Hollywood to write you Hollywood type material. And granted, that's not always the best thing because just because you know how to write stories in Hollywood doesn't mean you know anything about the business.
Nope.
But if you're gonna write these people who have professionally written stories in the past, don't you think you ought to listen to a few of them instead of shooting down what is probably about 90% of what they can come up with because it doesn't align with the story that you want to tell?
You would think that, but that's not how Vince looks at it because, I mean, fuck those guys. It's my business. It's my show. I'm putting this on for me.
But why waste the money?
You're fired!
If the ultimate goal here is to make money, why waste the money hiring 30 writers when at the end of the day you're just going to listen to yourself anyway?
Because when you're filthy rich, you feel like you can throw money out like that.
You feel like you can, but I wouldn't. Fuck all that.
But you're not Vince.
That's how rich stay rich.
Exactly. But anyways, we move on from that to KO versus some guy.
Gary Gandy, I think his name was. I'm not really sure.
I know it was Gary something. I think Gandy's right, but I'm not too sure.
I know the guy just about fucked up the pop-up powerbomb.
Very much so.
He jumped too early, so like Owens had to kind of power him up and catch him correctly.
Yeah, it was an ugly match. Happy it was over very quick because Kevin Owens does not need shit like that. He is the face of America. A Canadian is the face of America. And I'm not too mad about that. I mean, he's a good Canadian.
Did you hear the subliminal shot that JBL took at Mauro Ranallo?
No, I did not.
He said something to the extent of, we need more French Canadians at this table or some shit like that. Like, dude, you had one and you chased him off by bullying him too much.
Well, Kevin Owens is a bully, so that type of shit doesn't bug him. But after that W, he decided that he was going to give his voice to the commentary table for the AJ Styles Baron Corbin match.
Not enough ripping on Byron Saxton for my liking, because that's the only reason I like KO at the table is when he destroys Byron Saxton over and over again.
Well, he ripped on Tom instead.
Yeah, but nothing's like ripping on Byron.
Yeah, and I can understand that, but he was trying something new, ripping on the new main guy, Tom, because Tom's in the middle now. He's like a miniature Michael Cole, mini Mike.
I find Tom a little more tolerable than Michael Cole. Michael Cole is awful.
Oh yeah. I definitely like Tom a lot more. Tom actually calls the damn match.
Well, Michael Cole is good when he doesn't have Vince in his ear, because he's gotten progressively worse.
Yes.
As Vince has tightened his grip on what you can and can't say. Because Michael Cole in the mid 2000s and JBL the same way weren't that bad. No. Michael Cole and Taz weren't that bad.
No, they weren't.
It's only in recent years that they've gotten to be just fucking get off my TV heat.
Yeah. But yeah, we had Baron and AJ. Baron looking tough. AJ would get a couple good strikes in, and then Baron would hit him once and knock him across the ring, and then yell at him, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, there was a right hand in there from Baron at one point. I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. He doesn't look bad in the ring.
No, he doesn't.
He just sounds awful.
I will give him credit for that. He doesn't look bad in the ring. But here's the thing. If he's decent in the ring, and he's shit on the mic for the most part, don't have him talk that much.
Exactly. But that's WWE's fault. And so he's looking good. They got a good, strong back and forth going on. They end up out of the ring. Big back body drop to AJ Styles into Kevin Owens.
Right.
So then, I think actually, yeah, that was at the end of the match. Before then, they were hitting each other with some good moves. You got the Pele kick, stuff like that. Baron Corbin hit a mean deep six.
Yeah.
That deep six, I thought he spun AJ Styles around like 6 or 7 fucking times. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, he can do that because AJ's a $105.
Exactly. And then he just slams him into the mat, and I was like, Christ, that is a deep 6. Fuck it, that's a deep 9. Add 3 to that bitch. But yeah, so you get the big back body drop out of the ring onto Kevin Owens. You got Baron and AJ going at it on the outside. Baron misses. AJ trying to run into him, hits the stairs, and he's up against the apron, or not the apron, but the ringside. And AJ hits him with a phenomenal forearm, dives back into the ring at the count of 8, and it's a count-out victory. So, to me, does not make Baron look weak.
I hate when they do shit like that, though.
I do, too. I really did. I would rather if Kevin Owens, like, interfere and just, like, hit both of them.
To me, that's one of those times where if you don't... Well, yeah, your way sounds good, too, but if you don't want to beat either one of them, here's a novel idea, and this is something WCW did all the time. Don't have them fight right now.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Don't have them fight right now. Save it for another time. And you can easily put, you could take one of those guys that wasn't going to win the match anyway out of that fucking 6-pack challenge, have him fight Baron Corbin, have Corbin go over.
Yeah.
Or you could take 2 of the guys and have a match for AJ on the card.
Yeah.
And it's still a fatal 4-way. You still get basically the same match, and Jinder My Balls wins.
Mm-hmm.
And you have opponents for 2 guys, and they don't have to be. They could be 5 to 7 minute matches, because especially for Corbin, because
he's
Corbin,
a big dude.
Yeah, he needs to look dominant.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
I hate fuck finishes anytime they do, especially to end the show.
Oh yeah, if you were gonna go that way, the only way I saw pulling out of that was Kevin Owens pretty much super kicking Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin threw AJ Styles into me. Baron Corbin's in the ring recovering as he's starting to get up and turn around. Kevin Owens is in there, super kicks Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin wins by disqualification. AJ Styles stays face because he had nothing to do with that bullshit.
Right.
AJ Styles gets into the ring, pushes Kevin. Kevin takes a step back and then hits AJ with the super kick. End of the show, you have Kevin Owens standing there with his the USA Championship. I understand you're trying to make AJ look big, but you're also trying to make him look a face. He can take a hit. Right. AJ will come back strong.
Not to mention, AJ's been made to look strong a lot recently.
It's the show that fucking AJ Styles built. So come on. You just put Kevin Owens on the show. Give him a strong look. Make him look like a threat for AJ Styles.
Right. Here's my problem with anything though, because that match was fairly long, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty long match.
I don't. If you're gonna end with a fuck finish, I think this should be a rule, like an unwritten rule with them. If you're gonna end a match with a fuck finish, right? Mm-hmm. It shouldn't go longer than 5 to 7 minutes.
No.
Don't have a 15 to 20 minute match and then end it with a fuck finish, because now I feel like I wasted my time.
Yeah.
And and when you do that and then end the show, it leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth.
It really does. And so, I mean, truthfully, that is how I felt. I was like, one, you're kind of fucking over both of these people at the moment. Because AJ Styles looks a little weak. He could have broke that 10 count.
Right. Beat
him the right way. You're making him a fucking face. Make him a face. Don't make him the leeway face, because he can pull heat if he wants to pull heat.
Right.
Unfortunately, right now, the crowd does not want him to pull heat. They love him.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to get him to pull heat. Make him a fucking face. Let's keep this match going. Let's end it clean. If you wanted to make both of them look strong, you had Kevin Owens out there. Put him in the fucking match. DQ, easy way to make one person look strong and the other person look strong too.
Not to mention, this also, if you want to go back to last week, if you had any idea about the pecking order, who took the clean pinfall last week in that match to decide the number one contender for the U.S. title? Do you remember?
Sammy.
Baron didn't take it in that. Baron didn't take it. He didn't take it this week.
No.
That should tell you already.
Yeah.
Where the pecking order is.
Uh-huh.
It's at least AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn.
Yeah. And
now we'll see where Kevin Owens fits in all that once he doesn't have the U.S. title.
Yeah, because he's going to lose that real quick. I think he's going to lose it at this pay-per-view.
Do you?
I think so.
I don't. I think he'll retain just for the whole Jericho thing to be over with, and then.
Oh, sorry, my bad. No, I didn't even think of the Jericho match. Yeah. Yes, he will retain at the Jericho match. He will lose to AJ Styles, is what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yes, his first match against AJ, because technically, to me, just like the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton match, the end's already decided.
Right.
Kevin Owens is going to retain. Jericho's going on tour with Fozzy.
Right.
So he's not going to be on TV for a while. So, yeah. The only match I was considering was the AJ Styles Kevin Owens match, which I think he will lose.
If I had my way, AJ would beat Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens would go challenge whoever the hell the world title holder is. And then eventually AJ gets beat, and then he goes up. And I would love to actually see a world title program with AJ and Kevin Owens. I think they could put on some hellified matches.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think
I'm really so bored out of my mind with Randy Orton as a champion.
I really am. It sucks. It sucks because Randy's such a good wrestler, but he's
a good wrestler, but his wrestling style is like watching paint dry.
Yeah. Yep. And he was good.
He's very good at what he does, but he doesn't vary what he does.
He was good as the Legend Killer. He was good as the first time
he was the actually.
Viper.
Now that I look back at the Legend Killer, if you go look back at some of those promos and the matches,
oh yeah,
he was great as the Legend Killer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because if you look back at those and then look at what he's doing now, you'd swear to God that guy's phoned it in.
Yeah. And it's crazy. But yeah, definitely could have ended better. What do you rate SmackDown?
No more than a 6. I really wasn't happy with SmackDown this week.
I'm about the same. I wasn't too impressed myself. I wasn't disappointed, but I felt like for what SmackDown could be, it was a disappointment.
Right.
It's like,
And again, I think a lot of these leftover feuds are. Once these leftover feuds, which was dumb that they didn't get rid of those when the whole thing happened anyway.
Yeah.
Once these are gone, we'll be able to settle in and to sink our teeth into what this is actually going to be.
And hopefully, and I believe SmackDown will do some good. I feel like they got the best out of the Superstar Shakeup, so they got the most potential to do.
Raw got the bigger names, but yeah, I think SmackDown will be plenty fine.
Oh yeah, definitely by any means. But yeah, so I haven't even watched NXT here recently, so I have nothing really to say on that.
Yeah, I don't know that we want to. Do you actually really want to get into doing NXT in 205? Because if we do that, the show last week was 3.5 hours long. I don't want to do 5 hours.
Which show last week?
Our
show?
Yeah, our show was 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, no, we're going to try to keep it a little shorter than 3.
Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, we can do Raw and SmackDown if you want to do it. Cool. Okay. If not, we can do different episodes.
We start going on tangents.
Oh yeah,
that shit. It'll fucking. We'll get to 2 hours or 2.5 hours real quick, and I don't want to do a 4-hour podcast unless it's like after WrestleMania or SummerSlam or something like that.
I agree. Maybe we end up, if we decide to, or if this gets big, we step up our game and do 2 episodes a week where we cover stuff like 205 or NXT on a different one. But
hey, if we get enough of a fan base and the people want it, we got to get the people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Get the people what they want.
But of course, we'll always be here to present SmackDown and Raw coverage, opinions, things that we feel could have been better, could have been worse. This week, kind of just a blah week.
I'll be here to poop on Dean Ambrose unless he does a 180.
And of course, I will always be here for the Hardys. Much love. Much love.
And I'm always here for Alexa Bliss and Lana. If they actually decide to do something with Lana, that's another.
I don't know if they're going wrestler or just like stripper.
I mean, is there a lose in that situation?
There's not.
Okay, but that's it.
All I said was I don't know where they're going with it. I'm confused at this point. It's like I've got a semi, and it's just kind of sitting there like I don't know what to do. I mean, because at this moment, like, man, whew.
I know I saw the pictures from the little promo she put on us.
Them tights are a little revealing. Just a, whew. Girl, Rusev, Broham. Much love.
She got felt up not too long ago by a TSA agent. Did you hear about that story?
I did not.
I guess the guy was just like, fuck it, dude. When the hell am I going to see her again? And apparently, he got a little too frisky with her, and she felt she'd been violated a little bit.
I mean, people get that way, unfortunately. Calm your hands down. Damn TSA. Quit dragging people off of planes. It ain't right.
Look at it from his perspective, though. I'm not saying he was right. He's not right, but you're in an airport all day, and you're seeing 4s and 5s, and then a perfect 10 walks up.
Bro,
I mean, it's not right, but
I would have been like, Lana, look, I understand, I know who you are. I'm gonna pull out my wallet real quick. Here is $40. I'm gonna pay you for one hand smack, just not even hard, just a little light booty smack. I will. If your husband feels like he has to punch me one good time just to make it right, I am cool with that. But I will. Girl, please.
That's what I want to know is where was Rusev during that whole thing? Because I can imagine.
Whew,
yeah,
he would have been arrested. But anyways, that is the end of our show. He is Frank Wrestling. I am John Callahan. Next week.
Next Wednesday, unless work prevents it.
But yeah, we'll be here. Definitely get the episodes out. Hopefully try to get this one out sooner than next week, but it will be here when it is here. You can subscribe to us. That would be awesome. You can also follow us on Facebook at the Frank Wrestling and John Callahan Show. I've got a Twitter up. I think it's John Callahan JP 501. Follow us anytime.
We can leave the links in the description for the Facebook, and John can do the same for his Twitter. I'll have to create a Twitter eventually for this, but that's it for me.
All right, yeah, we'll definitely love to hear from y'all. If you got any comments, any complaints, any thing you would like to hear, just leave them down in the comments section, and we'll definitely try our best to get to them and include them in our show. We'll be here. Later, guys.